Power to the truth. This is Margo. This is Monday, April 29th, 2019, 5:57 p.m. Pacific Time, United States of America. So I realized that I've had an anniversary, and it was a year ago yesterday that I produced my first methane video, and I thought I'd just show a few scenes from that video and we could compare with what things look like today. I showed methane and carbon dioxide in my first video. It was a really good video. I went to lots of explanation about where methane comes from and just how to use cams and things like that. And so this is from the video, and it's in the it's listed in the link in my description page under my videos. And so it was from April 28th of 2018. Now this is cams and looking down and in the Arctic view, and this is from Friday, April 27th. Now this is 2018, mind you. And it's a different chart. Remember the chart, the color chart, because it looks, there's so much coming up, and we see a lot of yellow, a lot of red, a lot of release. What'd I do? A lot of release over here in Russia. And so remember, they changed the color ledger back in December, and when they changed it, they downgraded the readings. And so if we look at methane, what it looks like right now, here's methane as of yesterday worldwide. So it looks totally different. Totally different. And if we go to the Arctic view, here's the same view, but look at the difference. And so we're actually having higher readings, but it just looks not so bad because it's all green. It's all green up here. We don't have to worry. And so these releases that we're seeing are really like the dark browns are, and this brick red, that's 2140 parts per billion to 2160. Then the dark brown, the darkest brown, can be anywhere from 2160 to 10,000 parts per billion. And on the old scale, it's kind of hard to see. The really dark, the darkest brown is between 2060 and 75,600 parts per billion. And so the whole scale was changed. And like these reds, that's 2000, not 21. And the yellow is in about the it's in the 1900 range, 1940. So it's very deceiving to see this. And so when you look at some of my older videos, the ones before, I think it was December 11th was when they changed this color chart, then you'll see the difference. And you can see the background color is more of a orangey color here. This is where I'm showing, going into different articles and things. Now here, okay, here's what it looked like with the global view back then. This was surface level, global view, and it looks totally different now. And look at it, it does look disturbing with these high releases up here in Russia. Now we're still having these high releases in China and India, and these high releases in parts of the United States. But the difference, it's really dramatic, and the most dramatic is this color down here, and you can't even make out where the continents start because it just all blends in. And so these greens are higher readings than what you see on the old one. So it's just very deceptive. So I wanted to show you something else with carbon dioxide. Now if you look here, we can see from the equator down, you see parts that are in the blue and the aqua color. But if we pull up carbon dioxide today, I just thought it would be good to do a little comparison. Here it is, total column, same as last year, same chart, same everything, and look at the difference, how it's just pure brown over from the equator up, and much darker brown in a lot of the areas, and from the equator down there's not a hint of blue. And so in the old one a year ago we were seeing blues, you know, like this 402, and even under 400 parts per million, but we're not even seeing that anymore. We're seeing the dirty, like this dirty tan color mainly, and then right down here at the Antarctic is where it's the least, but even that is up to about this tan color, which is 408 parts per million. So I just thought it was interesting. Look at the difference there. And we had areas where it wasn't so dense, even in the northern hemisphere, but now it's awful. It's just covered up. So is there anything else from this movie I wanted to share? No, there's the global view again, surface level, with the high releases from Russia. So it's really, that's what it would look like on the old scale, except it would be about 10 times worse. So I just thought that was interesting and wanted to share that with everyone. As we're looking at these greenhouse gases, and so it's been a year since I did my first methane video, and as a result my whole life has changed. And last summer I got so caught up with tracking everything and learning about it and looking at the sea ice and everything, and I was just, it's like, this is what I have to do because I know time is so short. This is what I have to do. I have to bring this to the public. And so my whole career path changed, my whole life changed, and now I'm not making any money. I was making some money with my spiritual practice that I had, my empathic spiritual healing, and it was successful. I mean, I had success, and people were impressed with what happened and everything, and I just couldn't do both, though. I couldn't be tracking this, and because this is full time, I'm looking at this stuff all the time. And speaking of, I wanted to show everyone sulfur dioxide real quick. Now this is the Eurasia view. This is from yesterday, the 28th, and so here's Novaya Zemlya, here's the Yamal Peninsula. So this is all Russia, and this area corresponds where we see that high release in methane that keeps rebuilding and releasing. So this is a new huge sulfur dioxide release from yesterday, and then today it released some more. This is where it was kind of dissipating and going out. Then this is another release here. This is total column. And I also discovered on here, if you look at, go back to the beginning. Now this is from Sunday. And I don't know if there were any earthquakes. Russia doesn't report a lot of their earthquakes. I looked everywhere and I couldn't find earthquakes. I know that there's mining up there, but to have a huge release like that 2 days in a row, it would have to be a huge explosion. I mean, it would have to be humongous. We can also look at, if you look at 500 HPA, where it's about halfway up in the atmosphere, you can really see where this originated. Here's the darkest area here. So it originated down here and then was spreading out and up. So that was Sunday. And then if we put Monday in, here's a new release. The new release. So I don't know what to say about this, but comparing this to other sulfur dioxide being released around the planet, even these volcanoes down in Mexico, Popocatépetl, are, I mean, it's just like a little tiny eraser point compared to this. So I would really like to know what's causing that. Now we've seen sulfur dioxide releases up there in Russia before. So now it's going into the forecast period. And forecast period is not real accurate for sulfur dioxide because it's so variable. So I just like to use the day of the data. And if we look at total column here, so this is for today. See, we can see the difference in this and this, and here's Hawaii that's continuously releasing. We have some continuous releasing from Alaska and from South America, where they always have some volcanoes going off, over here in Africa and over here in Indonesia, and these places, they always have some kind of volcanic activity. So they're always going to be showing that. So this is so much higher. It's even higher than what China is. China normally has quite a bit of release from industrial things, and India too, and all of these areas. So I don't know what to say. But anyway, I thought I would just share that with everyone. But this is so, when you go back and look a year back, it's totally different. So in a year, huge changes have happened. Huge, humongous changes. So And we can see the evidence of it in the way the weather is playing out now, and we're seeing the catastrophic weather. We're seeing the increase of the water in the atmosphere with the atmospheric rivers, and the jet stream is all schizophrenic and split up, and with that, you got cold where it should be warm, and warm where it should be cold, and the storms are worse than what they were, and this is just the beginning. It's going to be crazy this summer if we make it through the summer. I'm not convinced we will. So this is why I have this urgency to get this stuff out right now, and to keep in touch with everyone on a daily basis. So I'd like to just go ahead and head on into our earthquake reports. Before we do that, we can check the latest level on the Oroville Dam. You have to hit this twice for the new level to come up. Okay, at 6 o'clock it was 882.39 feet. 6 p.m. Pacific time. 882.39. So let's see how much it's gone up today. 882.39 minus, at midnight it was 881.52. So it's gone up not quite a foot so far, 0.87. Now yesterday, though, I've got my notes here. From midnight to midnight, it went up 1.32 feet. So that's all I'm going to say about that. I'm just tracking it. I don't know what's going to happen, but whatever happens, happens, and we'll just have to pray for everybody. So here we're looking at USGS for all magnitudes for the last 24 hours, and we're showing 304 earthquakes on the map. So that's a lot of earthquakes. That's a lot. That's a big number of earthquakes. Of those, 43 are 2.5 magnitude or higher. So let's look at what's going to come off the map first. This 4.4 near Jiquilillo, Nicaragua. This happened last night at 7:21 p.m. Let's zoom in on that. So there were two here. There was two 4.4s, one at 7:21 last night. I'm sorry. Yeah, 7:21 last night and 4:05 this afternoon. So two right beside each other off the coast. So there's that. Now coming on down to there was a 4.1 near Huaca, Colombia at 7:44 last night, 148 kilometers deep. Now coming on down into South America, 4.6 Rio Grande, Peru at 1:07 this morning. Here's a 5.0 Tinogasta, Argentina at 9:35 this morning, 129 kilometers deep. 4.7 Ovalle, Chile at 7:07 this morning. 4.4 near Valparaiso, Chile at 3:24 this afternoon. Now while we're here, I'm going to go over to these two in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. These are on the northern mid-Atlantic ridge. This is this red line where the North American plate and the Eurasian plate, these two tectonic plates meet. So you will see activity where two plates meet for sure. The 5.4 came in last night at 7:48 p.m. and these times are all Pacific time because that's my time zone. And then there was a 4.7 right next to that at 6:22 this morning. Now let's come up to Russia, to Kamchatka Peninsula, 4.4 ESO, Russia at 5:04 this morning, 144 kilometers deep. Now there's a whole bunch of volcanoes that just come right down through there, so that was probably next to one or near one. So coming on down, okay, here's one just off the coast of Japan, 4.5 near Kosaishi, Japan at 10:24 last night, 313 kilometers deep. And a 4.2 near Hachijojima, Japan at 2:56 this morning, 380 kilometers deep. Those are deep, and the deeper they are, the more they will cause the tectonic plates to move across the planet because they're all connected. Now down here at Luwuk, Indonesia was a 4.4 in the ocean at 2:33 this afternoon. And then a 4.8 near Palu, Indonesia at 5:23 this afternoon, 217 kilometers deep. Coming on up into Burma, 4.7 Malike, Burma at 10:39 this morning, 133 kilometers deep. Then here's another one on the Tibetan Plateau, 4.5 Nepug, China at 6:36 this morning. Then the largest one that we have today is the 6.2 on this red line on the Carlsberg Ridge. This is just off the coast of Africa and Yemen and Oman, and it's in the Arabian Sea. This happened at 7:19 this morning. Very large. Big dot, the biggest dot on the map. Then here's a 3.5 near Bukhari, Lebanon at 5:07 this morning, right on the red line, or near the red line there. Oh, here's the red line, right on that red line. And then here's one in Mediterranean Sea, 5.0 near Carpathos, Greece at 9:43 last night. So I think that's all of the international earthquakes. Now let's switch over to all magnitudes and look at Hawaii next. We've got 7 here today. We've got a 1.9, 1.7, 2.3, 1.8, 1.8, 2.2, and 1.9. So the largest was the 2.3. So still moving over there with all those volcanoes and everything. You're still showing movement. Now here in the Dominican Republic, we've got 14 here today. I'll call them off. 2.2, 2.6, 2.1, 1.9, 2.3, 2.3, 1.9, 3.3, 2.1, 2.1, 2.2, 2.0, 3.1, and 3.1. So we're seeing them kind of cluster, or in pairs at least. Look, see this little cluster right down here off the coast of Puerto Rico. And but those weren't big enough to cause damage, it's showing movement. So that's an active area. Now let's see what's going on in Alaska. All magnitudes here, we're showing 75 here today. So that's less than the last couple of days. Less in number. Now let's see how many are 2.5 magnitude or higher. 6 it looks like. So we're going to start down here. 3.6 Nikolsky. Here's a 3.6 Cold Bay. 2.5 Homer. Here's a 2.9 Big Lake, that's near Anchorage, and 2.9 and a 3.2 at Kobuk. So Kobuk has been shaken around. So let's look now at all magnitudes. So we're seeing a little cluster up here at Koktovik of 7, including this one. These are in the 1's range, so they're pretty small. Now, down here at Kobuk, we've got 16 here today. So that's less than we've seen here in a long time. Most of these are small, except for that 2.9. That was the largest one. Or the 3.2. 3.2 and 2.9. The rest are in the 1's range. Now, we're still seeing spreading out of movement. See, here's this 1.8 Unalakleet, 1.4 Ruby. Look at all these just spread around. So, what have we got here? An explosion. I don't remember seeing very many explosions up here. 1.3 magnitude explosion near Badger at 4:17 this afternoon. 1.2 kilometers deep. Right near Fairbanks. Here's Fairbanks, and so it was to the northeast of Fairbanks. That's a pretty good size explosion. So they were tunneling, blasting for tunnels, I would imagine. So down here in the Anchorage area, we've got 40 today, including these up in these mountains. 2.1, 2.0. So 2's and 1's. Here's a 2.2, 1.8. But remember, little ones are important, and they can lead to big ones. It definitely is showing movement and can put pressure and show the fracture points. Okay, now down in the lower 48, We're going to start with this one near Kernsville, North Carolina. There was a 2.3 magnitude that happened at 12:23 this morning. It would have been 3:23 a.m. their time. We don't see them there very often. Now moving across. Here's one in Baja. 2.2 near Guadalupe, Victoria. Okay. Now in Utah we've got 4. We've got a 1.6 at Orem, a 2 at Enterprise, a 0.7 and a 1.0, and a 2.1 near East Carbon City. This one was at a minus 2.9 kilometer depth. So up in the mountain, wherever that was. Now, we've got, looks like quite a bit of activity up here at Yellowstone today. We've got 16 showing on the map. So let's just look at the single ones first. Let's start up here. Here's a 2.6 near Sealy Lake, Montana. 1.4 near Helena West Side, Montana. 1.4 Manhattan, Montana. And then we've got, how many here? Oh, where's Old Faithful? Yellowstone. Oh, I've got Old Faithful on the map. I'll get Old Faithful off. So we've got 4 here near West Yellowstone, Montana. These are small. These are under 1. But we've got 4 right there. And then here's one near Old Faithful Geyser, a 1.5. And look at all this. Here's a 0.5 and a 0.6 near Old Faithful Geyser. This one was in the lake. Now what's happening here? We've got a cluster here of 6. This is all considered Old Faithful Geyser. So 2.6, 1.7, 2.3, 0.2, 2.1, 1.3. Well, those are good size. So this is definitely showing activity. This is all part of the Old Faithful. So this is an uptick in activity for sure. Remember how I said, oh, it's eerily quiet up here. I saw that. Oh, it's eerily quiet when there's nothing there. Yeah, you wonder if it's just not being reported or if something's building. Now, in the Northwest Pacific, look at this line that follows those tremors, how the tremors go. So we'll look at the real-time tremor map, and in the last 3 hours they've had 0.6 hours of tremors, and they've mainly been up here in the Portland region. In the last 12 hours, they've had 2.6 hours of tremors, mainly near Portland and a few near Olympia. And in the last 24 hours have been 6.3 hours of tremors. So they're moving south. Instead of being clustered at Seattle, now it's moving south. So we've got some near Olympia, and then some near Portland, and now some down here south of Medford, and a couple. Oh, that looks like the geysers. And then here's one at Redding. So it's spreading back out. here's some up here. So let's just come on down the map. 2.0 Mount Vernon, Washington. 0.9 Erlands Point, Kitsap Lake. 0.9 Edgewood. 0.7 Morton. And a 0.9 Carson. And Mount St. Helens is right here in between those two. No blasting today yet up here. Well, we've got activity in Northern California. We've got these two over by Petrolia at 2.6 and a 2.1. Here's one just east of Redding, a 1.9 near Millville. And then a 0.5 near Mineral, right next to Lassen Volcano. Remember, Oroville is down here. Now we're going to move on across to the Reno area. We're showing 3 at Cold Springs today, 1.0, 0.3, and 0.5. And this minus 0.2 near Mogul. That's west of Reno on I-80 as you're heading towards California. Looks like it's right near the highway there. Now let's come on into Nevada. Here's a 0.4 near Gardnerville. And this is, Austin has gone crazy. Austin, Nevada. Remember there was a 4.0 over here yesterday and a 4.1. Well, it's still going on. So I'll just call these off. 2.1, 1.9, 3.1, 2.0, 1.8, 1.6, 2.4, and 2.6, and 2.3. That one came in at 12:25 this afternoon. And this was from last night at 7:20. So, I don't know what's going on, but a lot of movement. 1.1 at Gabbs. Here's an explosion. 1.7 magnitude explosion near Tonopah. Here's a 1.4 at Gabbs. 1.7 Warm Springs. 1.4 Alamo. And then we've got 3 or 4 here at Beatty, all stacked up. Oh, more than 3 or 4. Look at that. How many is that? 6. We've got a stack. We've got a cluster here of microquakes, little itty bitty ones. They're deep in the ground. So something is happening at Nevada test site. Dun dun dun. Area 51. Maybe they're testing the alien aircraft that they back engineered. Alright. Here's a 2.6 near Markleeville, California. Here's, whoa, look at all that. We got 12 here today near Mammoth Lakes and Long Valley. And these are Dixon Lane, Meadow Creek, California. So we've got them stacking up over here. So we've got 5 over here, and that must be 7 over here. So So let's see what's 2.5 magnitude or higher over here. We've got a 3.8 and a 2.9 at Dixon Lane, Meadow Creek. So those are getting up there. So that's part of that cluster there. And the rest are 1s and under. Here's a 0.7 Big Pine. Okay, then we go coming into Coso Junction. We've got 3 right there at Coso Junction. 3 little ones. Coming on down. Here's a 1.0 Searles Valley. I'm getting lost. I got too close in. 2.3 Fort Irwin. 0.7 Inyokern. Okay, let's come on into Southern California. Here's one in the water. 3.0 Camp Pendleton South. So we've only got 25 here today in Southern California. Pretty quiet. That's okay, they'll make up for it. They'll get some explosions going on and they'll make up for it. 3.0, yeah. That's what I showed. Pretty good size right there in the ocean. Here's a 2.1. Here's a 1.7 Marina del Rey. Now let's come up this San Andreas fault line. 1.0 Pine Mountain Club. Look at all of these. 2.4 Huron. 0.9 San Ardo. 1.4 San Ardo. 2.3 San Lucas. 1.5 Pinnacles. 0.8 Pinnacles. 1.6 Gilroy. It looks like that there's a stack there. Yeah, we've got a little stack right here. 1.2 and a 1.9 at Alamo, 1.0 Berkeley, 1.0 Kensington. And here's the geysers. Oh my gosh, 66? Have we had 66 here before? I think we had 88 at one time. Oh my gosh. 66, are you kidding me? Look at that. 66. The list just goes on and on and on. No wonder there were 306 earthquakes here on the map. 3.0. Let's see what the biggest ones are. 3.0, 2.9, and 3.0. And then the rest of them are under that. 66. Something's going on. That's high. That is high for them. Normally 20, 30, you know, but 66, And most of these are 1s and under. But you do have some in the 2s range. 66. Well, Little ones lead to bigger ones, and then we've got this cluster here. This 4.1, that's the biggest one near Redwood Valley. I already looked, there's no tsunami warning at 12:16 this morning. So we've got 9 here all around that. So that was the biggest one, the 4.3 at 12:16. Then a 1.9 at 12:38. 2.0, 12:46. 1.9, 1 o'clock in the morning. 1.7, 2:37 a.m. 1.9, 2:45 a.m. 1.9, 5:56 a.m. 1.9, 7:49 a.m. 1.9 at 6:32 p.m. It just happened. So there's that. So we've got movement. Definitely got some movement going on. So it looks like right down here, if I can click on one of those. Can't click on it. Here we go. 12:47. Yeah, that's where those were. 39 and minus 123. Yep, that's exactly where this cluster of earthquakes happened, where this group of tremors right there. So the tremor, there were not only earthquakes, there were tremors too, and these happened before earthquakes. So I do believe we are in the end times. No one knows the day or the hour, but everything's happening faster and faster. Every day is like another lifetime. And we need to get our spiritual houses in order while we still have a chance. So, hope everyone's having a good day or a good evening. And I'll talk to you soon. God bless you. Go in peace. Good night.